Hi, Miss Mora. My name is Ruben Hernandez. I'm one of the assistant principals here at Santa Fe Junior High, and I have the privilege of communicating and interviewing with you today for our eighth grade science position here at Santa Fe Junior High. Before we begin, I'll just give you a little update about myself. I'm originally from Rio Grande Valley as well. So I was intrigued with your application, and I said, well, I don't know everybody in the valley, but I know there's some hardworking people that do want to come up here and share their gift of education with other students. So to start off, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Hi. Nice to meet you as well. So, I currently am a 10th grade chemistry science teacher at Robertville High School. So, I teach chemistry right now. I have a degree in biology. I have a minor in chemistry. And I am certified to teach any sciences grades 7 through 12. I have my composite, so anywhere you need me, I can go.
Good.
Um, I am on this is my sixth year teaching. I've done 5 full years. And it's been a ride. It's been a ride, but a ride that I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I found that teaching really does bring me this sense of purpose
Good.
in life. And I used to feel as if, I was just here. I was just here. But now I do feel like I serve some purpose and I help at least some people, and which are my students.
Good. So did you go straight into teaching from college or
So yes, during my last semester of college, which actually happened spring of 2020, so at the peak of COVID when we all went into lockdown.
okay.
So toward the end of my last semester of college, I knew that I wanted to teach, so I started looking into some alternative teaching certification programs. I ended up uh, signing up with Texas Teachers of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So I signed up with them. I graduated college in May of 2020. And as soon as I graduated, I started working on that alternative certification. So I finished that. I was very, very dedicated to that because I knew that I wanted to go just right into this and not waste any time. So I finished the program within about 2 months. I passed my content exam the very first try, which was amazing.
Awesome.
Um, and everything just sort of happened very serendipitously. So, basically, from there, I finished the requirements to be applying for jobs with
Okay.
my program. So then I applied at my current job, and by the fall of 2020, so just literal months after I graduated college, I got my first job, my
Well,
first
good.
teaching job.
So what brings you in today to apply for our eighth grade science position at Santa Fe Junior High?
So I've been teaching at the high school level for 5 years now, and I love it. I understand them, I get them. Um, but something that I see often, especially as someone who teaches sophomores, the 10th graders, they're not fully developed yet. They're not as mature, right?
Hmm.
Um, I can't help but think about how much more I could help these students at an even younger age.
Okay.
So right now, as 10th graders, I see them and I see these things that they struggle with. Um, I just see opportunity. If I can get to them sooner, then I can help them even more.
Okay, good. So what is your classroom management style and how do you develop those relationships with your students?
So my classroom management style, something I really like to emphasize with my students is that respect goes both ways.
Hmm.
A lot of the times when I feel that if there's a teacher, or just a like leadership role, um, that the students don't respect, and I look at that relationship between the students and the teacher, a lot of the time what I see is the students don't respect that person because they don't feel they're being respected back. So, something that I really like to emphasize with my students in my classroom is respect goes both ways. I respect you, you respect me, everything will be great. We got
Mhm.
this. If something's going on, we talk it through. What's going on? We're going to figure it out. It's going to be okay. So I do believe in giving kids chances, especially because they're so young. Their brains aren't fully developed. They have hormones raging all over the place.
Mhm.
And everybody has bad days. And so my classroom management style, I like to keep it as an organized but relaxed and comfortable environment. And so along with that, one of I feel the most important parts of my job is building relationships with the students,
Mhm.
because they have to spend 8 hours of their day at school, right? And especially as the years have gone by, I feel that school kind of is becoming, or at least to me, feeling like it's more and more like a prison for them. Like how do we expect them to want to be there when there's so few things that we can allow them to bring them joy?
We're in the
So,
process of changing their outlook and wanting to be uplifted to want to be there. And
yes,
when you build that relationship, I think when you build that relationship with those students and they want to be in your class, you pretty much have a grasp on them. And then with that point, you can pretty much teach them anything. So
yes.
I appreciate what you're saying about relationships. So in the challenging aspect, how do you engage the hard to engage student? What strategies have you used in the past?
Mhm. So with the hard to engage students, I usually try and find some type of common ground or some type of common
Mhm.
interest. Try to find something that I haven't thought of. Not everybody learns the same, not everybody is engaged by the same activities. Um, so I try to find something that will pique their interest, right? Because it's hard to want to learn when you don't find something to be interesting. If you can relate it to something that they like, then they're more prone to wanting to listen and pay attention and learn.
Yeah, completely agree with you. So, in your classroom, how do you encourage positive behavior? Do you use PBIS, positive behavior intervention systems? And well, I'll let you answer that. How do you encourage positive behaviors in your classroom?
So with the positive behaviors, I think the praise goes a long, long way.
Hmm.
Um, when students are doing something that is a big yes, let's do that. That's amazing. I am a firm believer in praise because sometimes maybe the kids aren't getting that at home. Maybe they don't get that from their parents or their family or whoever they live with. So getting that praise from you or from their teachers is their really only source of that praise. And I feel it's good to help them kind of grow that passion for, I'm doing good. This is great. And
Absolutely.
so once they once they see, oh, I'm doing a good thing, then they'll want to do it more.
Yeah, affirmations go a long way in motivating kids and students to conduct whatever activity you're trying to do. So how do you address the students that aren't reaching those expectations as far as if their behavior or anything like that? What do you how do you handle that?
So I like to kind of redirect in a
Hmm.
subtle way. When you draw too much attention to something, it can sometimes make the situation worse. So I like to try redirecting, and then I'm also very big on having a conversation. So if a student is not doing meeting certain expectations in the classroom, whether it's behavior or academically, I'm a firm believer in communication is key. So I would like to sit down with the student and talk to them about what's going on. If it's behavior, ask them, hey, like what's prompting you to act this way? Or what is the goal here? And how can I help you?
That's good. Always wanting to figure out what the problem is one of the things people overlook. Because as a teacher in the classroom, Johnny may be having a bad day, and instead of just getting after him, you might want to ask him, and then sometimes you can say, "Oh, okay," and then either you can give him what he needs, a break, something, or he just reacts well to you and realize someone cares and you can go from there.
Exactly.
Good. So um, we've all dealt with different students in the classroom. So how do you plan to differentiate with, various types of learners throughout your classroom?
So I like to kind of give them this little questionnaire of sorts, to try and help both me and them figure out what their learning style is, right?
Mhm.
Some of us are visual learners, some of us are audio, some of us are more kinesthetic. So I like to start off the year by giving them this little questionnaire because sometimes they don't even know, right? And
Mhm.
knowing their learning style will help them in so many ways because I've had so many students who have asked me, Miss, how do I study? How do I study for
Right.
something? And at that point, I'm like, well, okay, let's think about how do you remember things? If you really know the lyrics to a song, how did you remember them? Did you write them down? Did you listen to the song over and over again? Did you read the lyrics? So, for differentiating for these various learners, I like to try and incorporate different aspects of the learning styles into every topic that I can, wherever possible.
Very good. Yeah, I think a questionnaire is a great idea. I think it's the first time I've ever had that interview where someone um, a lot of people respond with, well, we'll look at the first assessment. And, sometimes when you do that, you're 3 weeks behind because you
Yeah.
didn't know where they were. So I really do admire that questionnaire. It lets you know, it lets them know where they really stand. And then they understand where they should ask for help automatically if they need tutorials or anything like that. That's very good. So what role does technology currently play in your classroom?
So right now, I am a huge fan of the website. It's called Wayground now, but it used to be called Quizzes. I am a huge fan of that platform. I love to give assignments on that platform. It's
Mhm.
just so interactive, and there are so many different ways that you can modify. There are accommodations for the students. There's, if they need to really practice something, you can set a mastery goal of 100%. You can have them do it as many times as they need to. Um, so I love to give assignments on quizzes, or Wayground as it's
Mhm.
called now. Um, and I utilize Google Classroom almost every day because especially when it comes to any important like notes we've taken in a day, everything we do in class I put on Google Classroom because when kids are out, it's so hard for them to catch up, and having that platform somewhere they can go to know, okay, I was out this day, let's see what we did. It's just so helpful.
Good. So what role, you've done this for 5 years. I guess it's more of a how do you feel you benefit and what role does professional learning mean to you?
So professional learning, I know that some people may see it as a hassle, but I enjoy professional learning and professional development. I love having these PD sessions where I get to talk with other educators and hear their opinions on things, ask them what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Do you have this issue in class and how do you handle it? And when it comes to learning new platforms as well, I love going, especially because science teacher. We have this super awesome conference called CAST. So uh, I've gone to that 2 years, and it's just this awesome convention where there's just so many different educators and scientists and all of these companies as well. Um, and they're just showing you all these cool things. There's new things that you can use. I remember the first time I really tried out any sort of AI was at a professional development for a STEM
Mhm.
conference. And that one I learned a lot about Microsoft Copilot, which is personally my favorite AI. So I really do. I like to go to these professional development sessions because I really do feel like I'm getting something out of them. I'm learning, and sometimes I'm even helping others. I've even given a professional development session before on quizzes actually.
Good. That's good that you've actually presented. That's amazing. Um, so, I mean, you pretty much answered it, but I guess in the future, how would you plan, or is there any professional developments that you would want to attend that you see something that maybe you've heard of, but maybe your district or hasn't sent you or anything like that? Would you know of any of those?
Yes, so there's a couple of different platforms that I've seen professors use at the college level that I just really wish I could have access to. One of them is Alex. I know that a lot of our math classes, they're familiar with that, and they do have access to that. But that's not something that the science department as a whole has access to. We need special permissions.
Right, licenses and restrictions. So
Yeah, like
you'd like to see how that can be integrated into the science program as well. Okay,
yes.
that's good. So currently at your campus, what extracurriculars are you involved with at your campus?
So I am a UIL coach and I coach two events. So I am the UIL science coach for the chemistry portion of the test,
Hmm.
and I am also the UIL spelling and vocabulary coach this year. I just picked that up for the first time this school year, and I'm really, really enjoying it and liking it. And I try to help out at the school as much as possible. There's not always um a lot of people willing to help, and
Hmm.
I like to help wherever I can.
Yeah, that no, that's what we want to hear. So you've only been at one campus, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So in that time period, like how do you feel you get along with your colleagues?
I feel that I get along with my colleagues really, really well. And not just in the science department itself, just at the school in general. I have a really good rapport with other teachers and other departments. I have a really good rapport with our administration, our principal, our assistant principals. Um, it feels very much like this safe environment. Um, and it does feel like a family. So I do feel like we all kind of we care for each other and we care about each other's well-being. And I feel that we get along well.
Okay, good, good. Appreciate that. So what teaching challenges do you face now? Do you think you face currently?
Currently, I find a lack of motivation in the students. And it's something that I've seen within these last few years. And as the years have progressed, I feel like it's getting worse. And it's concerning to me. I worry for these kids, and maybe it is because I was an overachiever when I was a student, and seeing that that's not the case with everyone was definitely a shock to me my first year teaching. Um, but it is the lack of motivation and the learned helplessness, the
Hmm.
weaponized helplessness. They know that if they say they don't know how to do something, someone's going to come and help them do it.
Hmm. The the term initiative is missing from a lot of kids, and to
Yes.
find that initiative and I completely understand. So in the next section, where do you see yourself in, 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years. Um, well, I think it would be nice to still be teaching. I would like to still be helping people in some way, whether it's my students. I've thought about maybe getting a master's in school counseling,
Hmm.
becoming an academic counselor so I could help them even more. Still, though, in education.
Okay, yeah, I will say the Stephen F. Austin program is very good. Um, so what makes you feel that you're the best candidate for this position?
I feel that my age actually does help me, especially with the younger age groups. I feel that because I have younger siblings. I am on the younger side. I have an easier time relating to these students and understanding them and knowing what kind of attitude it takes to build a relationship with these students versus writing them off and dismissing them. So I feel that is one factor that does put me above others, and just the fact that I am willing to help in any way possible, any extracurriculars, any honor societies, community service. I was the assistant coordinator for the UIL program as well for a year. So I can handle paperwork. I'm very good at paperwork and organization.
Good.
So.
Good. So that's all the questions I really have for you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. So, what would be the current salary for a teacher like myself here versus other districts in the area?
Santa Fe ISD is a smaller district. However, we understand, we're surrounded essentially by bigger districts with like Clear Creek ISD, Dickinson ISD, and even Houston ISD just down the road. So the exchange you pretty much get is you get a smaller community. I'll be honest, we're competitive with them. We are a little bit less than them, but you don't get lost in the shuffle. I will say that. I want our base starting salary is 62 thousand, and it goes up from there. So you being at year five, you'd be around 65,000. Okay. Plus, any stipends you picked up if you did with if we had opening, you do get a science stipend, so that would actually bump your salary up. If you also get TELPA certified and like that, there's also an extra bonus in that for you. So there are opportunities to make more in the salary to make it up with different ways if you compare it to other districts. But I will say that our district, we have one junior high. We are literally across the street from our administration, our district administration office, and one of the other elementaries. The two other elementaries are spread out. The high school's further down the road. But when you have any professional development or anything that we need to go across, we literally go across the street and you do professional training there. It's a very close-knit district. So we do support each other as much as we possibly can. Our other assistant principals, one oversees special ed, one oversees science and social studies, one does um, math and the foreign language and the electives, and the other one ELA is by herself because she takes care of all those ELAs for the campus. So they pretty much double up from there. But they do offer that support, and they help you out as much as possible. So I think that's a big help for all of us.
Okay, awesome. Do you have any kind of supports for new hires?
So we do have support for new hires. We have support for both for a new hire first year teacher. They'll get a mentor and then they'll enter our new Indian program, which is where they come in and you have monthly meetings with the curriculum instructor for the district. Maybe right after school where they'll come and they'll do it where they'll do it at each campus. So it's not like everybody's got to drive over here. The coordinator will go to the campus and have meetings with the mentor teacher and you and do that for first year teachers. For first year, for not a first year, a new hire, somebody that's come in that does have experience, they will still get a mentor teacher, but you'll meet with the mentor teacher monthly or weekly, depending, or if you're they're at your disposal where if you need to say, hey, I need help with this, that you're not getting in planning or anything like that because as a core and a testing subject you'll get a planning and a conference, so you will have a team planning where you all will make sure your curriculum is aligned and everybody's going down the same timeline to make sure grades are in line, make sure the TEKS are being followed, and you all set your lesson plans up per unit, and really per 9 weeks. We are a 9 week district, so that's where you'll pretty much set it up every at the start of every 9 weeks. There's a full on planning day where you can pretty much lay down everything you're going to have for the 9 weeks. And then there's the one at the end of the week that you get pretty much two at the end of the 9 weeks. One is to close out, make sure all your grades are done. The next one would be to prepare for the next 9 weeks.
Oh,
So we
wow.
do that, taking care of where we're potentially preparing teachers to have all the rigor set up for the rest of the semester and vice versa.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. I was gonna ask, what does a typical day at the junior high look like?
So your arrival time is to get there at 7:30. We're an earlier district. You get there at 7:30. You will have a weekly, not a weekly, you will have a weekly, just a 1 day a week duty station at 7:15. Um, whether it's a hall monitor, entrance monitor, cafeteria, anything like that, pretty much will have that you'll have to take care of that, but it'll just be once a week. And what they'll also do is every 9 weeks they'll rotate. So unless you're like, no, I'm good right here, by my room, I can monitor the hall, that we, take preference into that too. If some teachers are like, no, I'm good where I'm at, you don't need to move me. Of course, if there are other people that no, I want to be moved, then we'll make that exception. We'll talk it out. But
Hmm.
again, you drive at 7:30 normally. Just get prepared. The students enter the building at 7:15, but they don't enter your classroom till 7:40, 7:40, 7:45. So as long as you're there at 7:30, prepping, getting the day ready. You'll have it's a 7 period day. So it's a 7 period day. And again, you'll have one team planning, one conference. You'll also have in your case, you're an eighth grade teacher, so it would be, you would have an advisory class, and then they'd break out, and then they'd come to your class for your regular term period, and then you'd have a 30-minute lunch. That's when they would go to lunch. You would have your lunch as well, and then they'd come back at the end, grab their bags, and go to fifth period after that. So fourth period's broken down into separates for every grade group or every different lunch.
Gotcha.
And again, our ending day is at 3:12, so you'd be pretty much free to leave after that, except for the days that we do tutorials, which is Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we just ask that they stay till 3:45, pending you have students do show up, and we just make sure that if that it's available to them, and they are getting the help that they need. But yeah, it'd be done at 3:12 and 3:45 on tutoring days.
Okay, cool. Is there any technology that's provided for teachers, like iPad or a laptop
So
or?
you will get a laptop. Every room is equipped with a smart board as well. And you also, obviously, that comes projector wise. If since you are in a core, you will get a smart board. In the non-cores, they get a projector with their laptop as well. There's various different licenses for different activities. We do use learning.com. We do use Microsoft Office. We also integrate Canvas. So we do pretty much a lot of those activities. And then as far as testing, anything like that, you can do that directly through Canvas, or you can set up something through the district with Quizlet or anything like that. But if you enter the district and you do have any ideas, you are able to present that to the district and get that taken care of if you wanted to add anything like that.
Okay, awesome. And I know you touched on this a little bit earlier. What kind of professional development opportunities are given to teachers?
So in the summer, we give professional development sessions that the curriculum coordinator for the district will send out feeders of any ideas that if anybody's interested, either to not necessarily present, but for them to look into. And
Mhm.
then they'll obviously, if they pick an idea that maybe you pick, they'd ask, well, would you want to get sent to that training? So that way you can present to our teachers. So they really do look out for what the teachers are throwing feedback for. And they will get their opinion and say, okay, well, hey, we don't have the license for this, but we're willing to pay for it, or we're willing to look into it. Would you want to be the trainer or get the training and present it to our teachers? And that way we can integrate that into the district and not just maybe your classroom, but it'd be a presentation for the entire district.
Okay, awesome.
Mhm.
And then my last question, what would be the timeline for hiring for this position?
Hopefully within the next week, we'll give everybody a call and let them know whether whether we've made a decision, whether it was them or not, or if we need to bring somebody else in. But we'll hopefully get this taken care of so we can get everything taken care of. We do our onboarding process in the summer where you come in, get pretty much all your paperwork with about 12 to 15 people. It's not like other big districts where you bring all 150 people one day and do it. And it's more of a very close knit figuring out here's your insurance, here's this. It's a little bit less hectic. And we'll get your laptop taken up, we'll get your badge set up, and pretty much move on from there. But hopefully within the next week, we'll be able to get some answers out to you.
Okay, awesome. That's all my questions.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank
If you have
you.
anything else, you feel free to reach out to me by email or call the campus and we'll get in contact with you.
Okay, thank you so much.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.